A black boy simply greeted the officers, but was shot dead by two white police officers. They searched the boy's vehicle and found no weapon. They only saw a driver's license and a college acceptance letter he had just received. The officers panicked, but to avoid being held accountable, they calmly handcuffed the boy, still breathing, and placed a gun in his hand, staging a fake scenario where the boy had attacked the police and was killed in self-defense. Clearly, this wasn't the first time they'd done this, but they'd messed with the wrong people. Because the boy's father was a judge and his mother was a police officer. When his mother saw her son's body, she was inconsolable. She couldn't believe her always obedient son would possess a gun or attack the police. Meanwhile, the officers who shot him stood by, acting as if nothing had happened. Soon, his father arrived, looking at his son's cold body. He broke down in tears. Just this morning, they'd been arm wrestling together, and now he was staring at a lifeless body. The next day, they received a police report, saying the boy had been shot for being armed and resisting arrest. But the father didn't believe it. Because he knew his son was law-abiding, he couldn't have done such a thing. They confronted the police, hoping for an apology. But the officers arrogantly refused to apologize.
I don't apologize for doing my job.
Finally, his wife slapped one of the officers, but the officer wasn't scared. The father went to the mayor, hoping for a fair judgment. But the mayor said he understood the pain of losing a child, but they must unconditionally believe the officer's testimony. The mayor also suggested offering compensation, but wanted the matter to end there. The father rejected the offer. He wanted to see the killers held accountable. A few days later, the same incident occurred. This time, they described the black boy as a criminal who was fleeing with a gun. They claimed he was violently resisting arrest on the street. The news enraged the judge. He went to the mayor with evidence, hoping for action, but after seeing the evidence, the mayor said, "These don't prove your son's innocence. Blame it on your son being black." The mayor's words deeply hurt the father. Since the law wouldn't punish the criminals, he would take matters into his own hands soon. He found another father whose son had been killed by police. Together, they went after the officers. At this point, the officer became scared. He admitted both boys had been killed by mistake, and said he had a son too, hoping to be spared. But both men said at the same time,
I have a son.
and they pulled the trigger.